play ball! Woo-hoo-hoo!
Welcome back, folks. I'm IC. Glad to have you join me today. 2 videos ago, I looked at a channel named Something Is Not Right, or CERN. This was the first TF2 based ARG I've ever covered. Despite it referencing several real-life events of poor taste, and I wish I knew about them in the first place, regardless of material, I assumed I'd never cover another TF2 ARG on this channel. I had this impression that source ARGs place the game secondary in terms of importance, unlike ones in garry'smod, despite 2 of the largest series using the mercenaries as their main characters. However, as time's gone on, more TF2 ARGs have shown up, even if their ARG status is questionable. 2 ones of note being Steel Scout Team Fortress and TF2lover4life. The YouTuber Durkee already made a video on the former, so if you want to know the story there, be sure to check it out. As for TF2lover4life, that's what I'm looking at. Wowie, you read the title. Maybe I'll look at Steel Scout in the future, but that's enough stalling. Let's investigate this channel, and hopefully this time, nothing will go horribly wrong. The TF2lover4life channel was created on May 24th, 2024. The About section is explained in a stream of consciousness style. Essentially, he's saying he likes TF2 and Half-Life 2, dislikes Counter-Strike, and that we can expect him to upload animations made a source filmmaker. It's composed like a kid would write a list of things for Christmas. And unless it's to set us up for how the uploader acts, it's kinda weird. Speaking of uploads, the first 2 were posted the same day as the channel's creation. Let's start with the first, ominously titled, First Encounter.
Medic!
Definitely a strange way to start things. We're greeted with the scene of a sniper glitching over to his rifle, whilst being stuck inside a door. After they randomly die, the player pulls out his minigun. But if this is truly a player's perspective, where's his HUD or health bar? It could have been disabled using commands, but why? He wanders around for a bit, before being abruptly teleported outside the map boundaries, after which nothing happens. Second encounter. The uploader once again stumbles across the sniper, this time A-posing in the middle of 2 Fort. He flies onto the roof to confront him, only for him to teleport down into one of the entrances, and we know he flew due to the description claiming this is happening on his private server, yet no explanation on why he'd be running one. Despite still being visible on screen, the uploader now ignores the sniper and walks into the building. He dies upon reaching some stairs, quickly followed with a voice line. I assume it's the sniper taunting him, but I don't know. What's really strange is how his minigun stays on screen despite being dead. Spy takes flight.
Bum, 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 bum.
A short machinima with some audio distortion at the end. I tried looking at it in case there was a hidden message, but I found nothing. The description explains the uploader's motives behind making this.
I hate the sniper. He's the worst class. Too OP.
Interesting how this also happens to be the class he's captured out sightings of. Now for the most viewed video on the channel, the Half-Life incident. Just got Half-Life to take a break from TF2. That thing followed me. Can't even escape it in other games. It made my game crash when it got me. I have no clue what it is, but it's definitely that sniper entity. Pretty sure it didn't know I was recording when it attacked. Maybe it's the phrasing? But personally I've never found myself buying a whole new other game to take a break from another. So TF2lover4life stumbles across another entity. Or as he assumes, the same one. That conclusion feels a bit rushed from a viewer's perspective, but whatever. The thing moves toward him while he stands there for way too long as a hero in a cliche horror movie. Only to run once the monster is close behind. The guard corners him almost immediately, before the video ends and he's said to have crashed. Half-Life 2 gameplay.
Welcome. Today we're gonna be playing Half-Life 2. Hopefully that thing didn't. I just hope that thing didn't.
Funny, you showing up on this day in particular.
Follow it up. Yeah.
It's a dangerous route to my father's lab, through the old canals. Today, we're finally on the verge of having a better
by the way,
nice to finally meet you.
Where did she get to? Lamar, come out of there.
uh-oh, everything all right, Dr. Kleiner?
Oh, hello, Alex. Well, almost all right. Lamar has gotten out of her crate again.
Let's see if this thing works, okay?
Well, is he here? There you are. Man, Gordon, you stirred up the hive. We can't keep him here long, Doc. It'll jeopardize everything we've worked for.
Don't worry, he's coming with me.
That's right, Bonnie. This is a red letter day. We'll inaugurate the new teleport with a double. He's not taking the streets. You might as well get him out of his civvies. What? Oh,
What importance do these lines have? Hold it, guys. I'm gonna pause.
But okay. Here we go.
Ah! Get it off me! Lamar, there you are.
Certainly not. Never fear, Gordon. She's de-beaked and completely harmless. The worst she might do is attempt to...
How did I sign up?
Fruitlessly.
Get that thing away from me.
Here, my pet. Hop up.
No, not up there. No, no.
Careful, Lamar. Those are quite fragile. Oh, fine. It'll be another week before I can coax her out of there. Yeah, I see your HEV suit still fits you like a glove. At least the glove parts do. I've made a few modifications, but I'll just acquaint you with the essentials. Now let's see.
Gordon, why don't you position yourself near the panel over there and wait for my word?
Isaac, are you there?
Yes, Eli. Bit of a holdup on this end. You'll never guess who found his way into our lab this morning.
That's not who I think it is.
Indeed it is, and it's our intention to send him packing straight away in the company of your lovely daughter.
Are you...
Okay, hearing someone's voice in a web series is legitimately a breath of fresh air, regardless of acting skills or commentary. Seriously, GMod ARG should have done this years ago. Maybe then they wouldn't have died. He starts Half-Life 2 already within the Red Letter Day section, hoping the entity doesn't show up. Upon entering Kleiner's lab, he weirdly gets the Lambda Locator achievement, which requires you to find all the Lambda caches. Yet at this point, the game hasn't even really started. He enters a command that I can't bloody read, but it looks as though the high FOV is causing visual glitches. Besides that, nothing else happens. Some news.
Hello everyone, TF2lover here. I wanted to have a little chat with you all today. Lately I've noticed... Lately you noticed that sniper. That bloody... Listen. I'm dubbing the sniper as the entity. Because, well, it's not only a sniper, but it seems that it hates me so much that it's taking the form of my least favorite class, and I can't deal with it at all. I'm forced. It's not just something normal. It's following me to FM TF2. It hasn't followed me into Half-Life 2. I'm gonna take that as my safe place. We haven't tried Counter-Strike yet, although it's most likely gonna follow me into Counter-Strike as well. But I'm hereby starting the investigation, which I will be dubbing the entity. Real creative, I know. So, whatever this entity is, we're gonna take it down and make sure it don't come back. It don't see anything I have. I'm afraid that considering this entity is following me through games, some tell me that it also has access to everything, including that it has access to all the files of the games, which makes me think, what else could it mean? I'll see you guys in the next video, but this is going to take a toll on my regular content. You won't see as much SFMs, mainly because, you know, the entities in the SFMs. I haven't tried the Gmod yet, though. So I think that would be interesting.
I'm not smart enough to know how this is done, but it's a very interesting way to present an update video. The reverb is horrendous though. TF2lover states that so far, the entity is present in TF2, Source Filmmaker, and Half-Life 1, despite it being in a different game engine, so I guess he meant Half-Life Source. He continues by saying Half-Life 2 is fine, and that with this video is formally announcing an investigation into this entity. Considering up to this point there's only been 2 semi-normal videos, it's kinda weird, but I'll let it slide. Returning to Half-Life.
Freeman. It's not our fault.
I should have mentioned it sooner, but it's not how there's 0 sounds apart from the player's movement. There's also the broken floor reflections, but if this is Half-Life Source then it's probably nothing of note. This video shows us 2 things. The game is missing all its background NPCs, mainly in the break room and the lockers. However, this entity can clearly change models to look like the scientist, and despite changing back to the guard, we hear a scientist's voice line at the end, saying it's not our fault, as if there's another reason all the NPCs are missing. The next video is just in celebration of 52 subscribers, although it's actually clickbait, as the screenshot the uploader shows truly shows 53 subs. Literally no one cares. On a real note, this screenshot suggests they'd uploaded 8 videos up to this point. However, this is the 8th video on this channel. Is there one more missing? Quest for Sandwich trailer. Heavy got robbed of a perfectly good meal. Truly a modern tragedy. Gmod's spooky crash. Supposedly this proves the entities in Gmod as well. The uploader approaches the darkroom of all places, hears a zombie cry, then flies away and proclaims only then did he crash. Honestly, I'm more concerned over why his UI is hidden in every single game. Sniper Entity 1. Another encounter with the entity in TF2, this time taunting and looking as though he's surfing around the map. Or that's the impression I got from the music at least. TF2lover asks the most rhetorical question possible in this scenario. He's waving. To who? My guy, you're the only two on the map. He tries shooting the entity, only for him to crash again. Side note, shouldn't this be called third encounter for consistency? Nothing happens in the next video, so I'm skipping it. TF2 is normal again.
Mission begins in 30 seconds. Mission begins in 10 seconds. 1.
I skipped around a lot because it's mostly gameplay. The only things of note are how the uploader stops moving around the 6-minute mark, and that all his teammates are bots. A commenter brings this up, and his response is inadequate at best. I do remember a training mode against bots, and he could be playing that, but then why not just say it? Regardless, it seems this portion of the ARG is the sort of lull period, as nothing happens apart from TF2lover announcing a Q&A video, which as of now, he hasn't uploaded. I'm gonna go ahead and skip the next 3 videos, so you can check them out yourself. In fact, you should watch this whole series yourself. My video wouldn't exist had TF2lover not made this story, so you better give him the attention he deserves for his work. Anyways, back to the creepy shenanigans. The next video is just called Entry. Not sure what to make of this. Despite the bizarre nature of TF2lover's playstyle, he at least acts like he's playing the game. So I'm not sure what we're seeing here. Someone looks out at a desert, some glitching occurring as they look to their left. We see a demo man and engineer A-posing around a corner, as well as the third missing model hovering above them. Could this be the entity? Did it undergo mitosis and now there's 3 of them? We're not given much time to think, as something hits our camera's perspective before we fall out the map, revealing the cameraman to be playing as the scout. We begin to hear someone speak right as the video ends. Longest video on the channel. Gmod with my friend. TF2lover plays on Gmail with their friend named Spooky Ghost. Upon entering the dark room, they pull a prank on the uploader in chat. Despite this, TF2lover is clearly genuinely unnerved by the room, shown with him blocking it off. Later on, when his friend goes AFK for the first time, the barricades are removed, all on their own. Despite it being the only trick in this whole video, I will admit, it got me at first. But what doesn't is the description. Decoding for base 64, it reads, Spooky is here. No matter what perspective we assign to this message, be it TF2lover, Spooky Ghost, or even the Heckin' Entity, this has no believable reason to be here. TF2lover appears to take this seriously, thus there's no reason for him to write that as a secret message. Spooky Ghost may engage in the effort chuck with some trolling, but they're not the uploader. Yet regardless of who done it, this is a prime example of having a secret message which has nothing to do with an ARG/story. Moving on, Entity Capture. We're only given more questions, as TF2lover claims he didn't upload this video. We're shown a heavy and sniper inside a map for Source Filmmaker, the former conveniently being the same class the uploader plays in his videos, and the latter of course being his most hated class. We're shown multiple angles of the room, before Sniper suddenly snaps towards the screen, revealing his face to be all messed up, and a missing texture in place of the reflection on his glasses, akin to what we saw with Half-Life Source. The video ends with another shot outside the map, now with 3 more snipers surrounding the original. My mitosis comment was just a bit, are you telling me that seriously? Returning to 2 Fort. Seeing as the title is capitalized, we can assume this video was uploaded by TF2lover. It would seem as though this were a way to distinguish Entity videos from the uploaders, yet he breaks his own logic in several instances, and thus I didn't know this a pattern until my second watch through. Great job. TF2lover exposed 2 Fort again, but seeing as the team sense is now purple, it's clear more errors are starting to occur in his games, and just like the sniper's glasses, it's specifically textures with reflections. Besides that, nothing else happens, as this instead is a conduit to another video that's unlisted, which I first had to decode from. I can scream into the void for years straight, and still be seeing folks use binary in their ARGs. You know, I've got mixed feelings, but this story's definitely taken a disappointing turn. Regardless, let's see what this reveals. Replication. Oh, okay, so I literally. As we saw from returning to Half-Life, the Entity can change models. This video further proves that, while also confirming with the title that yes, it can multiply. A longing. We're shown more footage of some unknown character encountering the Entity. only this time their limbs are stretched out, similar to the guards in Half-Life Source. And that's it. Also, a longing isn't a word. Strengthity.
I slept in the corpse of water buffalo tougher than you.
We're now shown the same event from the Entity video, only this time from behind the scout's perspective. Strangely, his face is all messed up similar to Sniper's. He gets kicked off the map by an unseen force, and then we cut to watching him fall into the skybox. We hear Sniper's taunt, followed by another shot of the Entity. It's clear by now they have a level of control over TF2lover's channel. Wish they had a clear motive or explanation of why they exist, but oh well. It seems like the concept of sentient ragdolls is being toyed with in some of these. However, judging by the scout's teeth, it feels more like Sniper's killing defective clones of himself. Why? Who knows? And unless Strengthity is somehow a reference to string entity class in the Java coding language, it also isn't a word. We've captured it. We are a step closer to getting rid of this entity. With no explanation, the uploaders managed to capture the entity. For real this time, unlike the other instance. Like, why call it this in the first place to make things more confusing? Unfortunately, just like the unreleased Q&A, much is left unanswered. Last video as of now. Soldier.
If God had...
Somehow, despite being captured, we're given another upload by the entity. The footage is a heavily corrupted edit of the motion editor test by TF2lover, with little much to go off apart from a message at the end. By upping the pitch, we get the following. Serves who exactly? The entity? The uploader? Is this recorded dialogue or just more lines of TF2? Much like a lot of things with this story, all we can do is hope more gets revealed. Hey, this is editing I see here, and as I was working away on this, there's been an update in the form of 2 videos. The first containing a link to a Google Doc, supposedly meant for viewers to document their findings. Only one problem, besides many others, but if I got to him then that ruins my point. What findings? Within TF2lover's own words, he's essentially said everything I have. And even in that, to claim that bots he played with were sentient? What? Anyways, then there's this update response video to the uploader's update by the entity.
We've been watching your progress. You are closer than you think. We can get rid of all your progress, so be careful.
In other words, the entity is threatening that they can erase all our progress. Well, now that this video's out...
Oh no!
However, by making this video, this tells us both parties are simultaneously imploring us to crack the mystery, making the purpose of the mystery pointless in and of itself. Bravo! So, I've gone through rewrite after rewrite, trying to compose my thoughts of this web series. And I'll just put it bluntly, the story lacks depth. Things are clearly happening, but they're happening way too fast whilst we're giving little to no explanation for any of it. I already mentioned how the first 2 encounter videos were posted the same day as the channel's creation, but on top of that, Spy Takes Flight, Half-Life Incident, Half-Life 2 gameplay, and some news were all posted the day after. Like, take a second. Breathe! You're telling me it was 2 days into this channel's creation before you needed to start investigating? Oh, but it keeps going. Returning to Half-Life, the subscriber special, Quest for Sandwich, and Gmod's Spooky Crash. All on the 31st. Quest for Sandwich was a YouTube premiere, yet you found the time to upload another video after on the same day? I'm sorry, but that doesn't sit right with me. One of the big purposes of an ARG, or heck even a simple mystery, is to give us bits of information we can piece together to form a cohesive story. The pieces in TF2lover's story so far are too vague for me to say anything concrete. Apart from, oh no, there's a spooky guy in the player's game and it's haunting him. Nowhere is it explained how he captured the entity, and as a viewer it literally comes out of left field. This shouldn't happen for a pivotal point in the story, if it even is one. The earlier videos truly gave me hope that this series would go in an innovative and unique direction, only for it to fall down the stairs into a pile of cliches and lack of explanation. There's clearly a story here, but it's going too fast and hardly anything's provided for me to piece together. I know I'm repeating myself, but if there's one last thing I'd say, it's this. To the creator of this project, I've seen comment after comment you've made beneath your videos, in which you break character to give small details about your story, the time frame it takes place in, and that it has no relation to other ARGs going on. None of these comments you've made should be warranted. If it's so important for people to know this took place around 2015, then tell us through the story. The quick upload rate could easily explain that away. That'd bring into question of why TF2lover would then respond to questions as if he were in the past, but aside from that, there's a whole other question surrounding Spooky Ghost. It took me to the end of the video to mention this, but they have their own channel which predates TF2lovers by 2 months, with their first and only video posted in April. It's another puzzle piece, but much like everything else, there's nothing to connect it to. The premise of this story sounds interesting, but until there's more pieces, I can't provide a comprehensive narrative other than this. On some ungiven date, an entity appears in a private server run by TF2lover4life. Through learning about him over time, it decides to start scaring him and messing with his game, opting to portray itself as its most hated class, the sniper. TF2lover in turn starts to record these events, posting his videos online in hopes to understand what's going on. The entity begins getting in other games, leading the uploader to make more videos. It then ups the ante even further, posting its own videos straight to TF2lover's channel. All the while, the uploader's so-called investigation is either gone completely nowhere, or explains nothing to us viewers at minimum. And instead, the entity seemingly takes on the role of explaining itself, how it takes over NPCs in the process of self-replication, albeit sometimes to faulty results. But then out of nowhere it turns out TF2lover has learned something, supposedly trapping the entity in some random map with no explanation on how or why. With this unsatisfactory conclusion aside, that'll be it for now. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Feel free to subscribe, and please check out TF2lover4life. Hopefully they'll put the work into fixing up their series, but with all that said, see ya.